Hi there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush. With me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargaming Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. Usually it's a lot of everything under the sun and some painting talk and some other stuff. But usually it's a whole lot of craziness. We try to be informative around here, but we also try and keep it light. And so this is really a show for you guys to ask me questions for things that, might be troubling you. Might be, technique might be tripping you up. Color scheme might be bothering you. Can't work through it. Either way, this is the show for you guys to get some help and get some pointers and maybe learn something. Who knows? It's entirely possible. And so I can see a lot of my regulars are already here today. I can see Lazy Monkey, Spite You, Mad Cow Crazy. Mad Cow Crazy trailer is so unrealistic. The Wraith Knight would have killed both Imperial Knights with one swing on the tabletop. Oh, we're talking about the Dawn of War 3 trailer. Man, that was awesome. I watched that like 5 times in a row. That was just so kick-ass. Get really excited. I mean, like, the cinematics that come out of Relic, like, I don't know why these guys aren't hired to do a 40K movie. Even the guys who do, like, the animations for, like, StarCraft and stuff. Like, man, like, why aren't we getting, like, more series out of these guys? Like, they have such a knack for the environment, for the models, the scenery, the action, like, I don't know. I don't know why we can't get a full-length feature film out of these guys with using, that style animation instead of the previous attempt of, Ultramarines movie, which was, quite sad. I mean, like, it could have been so much better. So much more depth into that, like, it just seems like it was a miss on, many counts. And it just, it just wasn't up to, I mean, I'm sure the fans built it up in their minds quite heavily, but it was too small scale for 40K. I mean, 40K is a large scale. It's, intergalactic warfare, and it needs to encompass some of that, Dr. Xantos is joining us today. Kirk Krishone, G Squared, Knitfink. Hello, everyone. Hello, Knitfink. Leo Shi. Lazy Monkey. I'm interested in Total War Warhammer since I'm more fantasy than a 40K guy. I'm quite happy to be based in Warhammer, not Age of Sigmar. Afraid it'll turn into a mess of DLC money grabs, though. Yeah, probably. Because, I mean, there's a lot of factions that they can, get your money. Just little downloadable packs. Oh, you can play as Chaos now. Oh, you can play as Nurgle. You can play as Khorne. You can play, play as Skaven. Play, But, hey, that's the nature of the game, man. I mean, they got to get paid too, right? Otherwise, who's going to make the game? You? Me? No. Not happening. Unfortunately, it's up to these guys to make the game. I guess it's kind of like drug dealers, really. Video games and drug dealers. The same thing. Plasma Plays. Hello, everyone. Hello, Plasma Plays. Hoping that I can survive my cold long enough for the show. Well, hopefully you're feeling better. Drink lots of fluids. Lots of orange juice, man. Lots of orange juice. Tolo, let me hear you say, way-oh. Way-oh. Living and breathing another day. Well, another day in paradise for Tolo, I guess. William Payne's joining us today. George Hopkins. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Any thoughts on the first draft of 40K FAQ up on the Facebook page? I quickly breezed through it. I know everybody else here I know Matt was delving into it pretty heavily. I don't know if they filmed any of it. They should have, because it was quite debated as to, the changes and things like that. And so, yeah. Mark Hill. Hi, guys. Hi, Kris. Hi, Mark Hill. Naglarev. There's Naglarev. Dr. Santos. There's a 40K feature film coming, Lord Inquisitor. Yeah, but that's like one dude. That's one guy. He's creating an awesome, awesome animation. And I've seen a few of the trailers, but I mean, he's been at that, like 5 years? And all he's gotten is so far is a trailer done. I mean, even if he's working towards an 80-minute feature, I mean, still, that's a lot of work for one guy to do. Or even like even if it's just a small team of people, still, that's a ton of work. I mean, you look at a movie like Avengers, where there's, like, it's a lot of live action, but there's a ton of CG. And you watch the credits, and like, it's a huge amount of credits that go flying by when you see all the CGI animators and stuff like that. Like, to do CGI right, it takes a lot of people. It takes a production house to do it. And, like Lord Inquisitor, I mean, I wish that guy, he'd just go to Games Workshop and say, hey, I'm making this movie, give me the license, and, I mean, let's make a feature film out of this, and, shop around to get some other production houses, to help out with it, because, man, that's going to take forever. I'm sure it's going to kick ass, but, still, you need some help. African Wise Man, Merry Day to all the monkeys, and Kris, hope everyone is having a spliffy day. Spliffy? A spliffy day. Total War Warhammer looks like it's going to be good. Can't wait to see if the 4K version is going to grace the shelves. I don't know. Naglarev, Kris, I'll be at Mini Wargaming for 2 weekends. The first one being during Valhalla. Will you do Away the Brush that weekend? I don't know. Because, I mean, like, I don't know what the internet's like out there. I heard it's not very good. And so doing Away the Brush, I mean, like, it'd be like, 240-bit, and it just looked like crap. And, I don't know. Whereas I just pre-tape the show and, just kind of have it with everybody in the room and, something like that. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. Might be kind of fun, have like a live audience kind of thing. Maybe. Bob. Heyo, Bob. Leo She at Kris. I'm hoping to start playing a new war game because I put 40K on hiatus. University. Was wondering to start either War Machine, Hordes, or Malifaux. Need something less time consuming. Geez, that's kind of hard to say, because I mean, I've only delved into Malifaux a little bit, and I mean, the look and feel of it is pretty cool. It's got its own kind of this Wild West kind of ghostly kind of thing going on, which is pretty cool. Alternate dimension, things. It's kind of weird, right? Whereas War Machine, it's a steampunk, it's alternate world kind of thing. The background's not as rich as, say, like 40K. The gameplay is solid. There's a new version coming out, so the whole game is going to be changing. So if you're going to get into it, you might as well wait until Mark III drops the shelves, because then you'll be starting along with pretty much everybody. Everybody who's a veteran will have a little bit of an edge because they've already been used to the kind of game mechanics. But you'll also be joining in with a lot of other people too, and so at least you're not going to be the only new guy playing Mark III. But War Machine, though, I mean, you want something that's less time consuming. I'm not sure, because War Machine, I mean, when you start getting into the gameplay, man, I mean, like, you want to get better at it. Like you really want to kind of excel at it, and yeah, it's because it supports the competitive kind of gameplay, and so hard to say. But I would go with War Machine or Hordes. War Machine, Hordes. Warma Hordes. Well, either one is a good choice. I haven't played that much Malifaux. Malifaux, I'm sure, is really great. I'm sure there's a ton of people that are going, oh, play Malifaux. Hey, play Malifaux you want. If the look of the universe, does it for you, then by all means, jump in, right? And I go at Kris, I meant 2 weeks. Oh, okay. 2 weeks what? Oh, you're coming and visiting in 2 weeks. Plasma Plays, I just realized I haven't sent an email in 6 months. Dang, I need to get on that. Drewski McCall. Morning, Chris. Morning, Drewski. Bob, looking for something new? Try Dreadball. Yeah, I seen that at Adepticon. Man, everybody was pushing that. I even got like a little Dreadball model. Oh, she's not here. But anyway, it was in the grab bag for Adepticon. A little Dreadball model. It didn't look like something like, was kind of football-esque kind of thing. I mean, it's a little girl and she's got like this like sledgehammer behind. She's holding it behind her back like she's trying to hide it or something, which is kind of funny, because I'm sure in the game she comes up and whops you with this hammer. So hard to say. Ghost of the Starman Deluxe. Nearly done building wave of my fully converted Gene cult. Email coming soon. Very cool. Aaron Seach. Aaron Seach. What's up, Chris and Monkeys? Finally made it to a live show. Third shift sucks donkeys. Donkeys? Like a whole donkey or just one part in particular? Speaking of painting, I've actually started painting another little thing here. I'm going to probably start filming another one. I was doing airbrush noob, and I was working on my what the heck was I working on the last airbrush noob? Good grief, I can't remember what I was working on. Come on, people, what was I working on? Oh, the walls. My Aegis defense line. I think this week I'm going to work on an overdue project, which is my Wraith Guard. I have the Wraith Blades, and so I've actually I was going to do them in kind of a traditional fashion, with just a straight up red body, white helmet, and swords. But then I said, nah. And so I went for something that's slightly different, so... And so they're going to be fairly dark, go to red, they blend, and then it's just with like little orangey highlights all over the place. It's kind of hard to see. The helmet I might actually leave dark, because in the near future I'm going to pick up a Wraith Blade, or Wraith Knight, a Wraith Knight, and I'm probably going to do him in a deep red as well, with a dark helmet and then, glowing weapons. Probably just give him the sword, I think. But yeah. I'm going to get some more wraiths in my army. Need some more wraiths. Need some more foot dudes. Where are we? Dark Mako 91. Hello, Chris. Witness me. Leo Shi. True. I love the Troll Bloods. Don't know if University will give me enough time to play. Yeah. I mean, you usually fire those games out pretty quickly. If you stick to the 35 to 50 point range. 35 is a good point size. 50 points is, a fairly heavy game. Don't go into 100 point games because, it takes forever. Spite you, witness me. Dr. Xantos, mediocre. Spite you, I paint, I strip, I paint again. Dark Mako, I just started collecting Tau and I'm painting them shiny and chrome. Cool. I think what would be if you're gonna do them like chrome, like if you're going out and you're buying the actual chrome spray paint, or if you have like a chrome paint for airbrush, or whatever, you're gonna do a legit chrome on it. If you do that, do it like Phasma in the new Star Wars movie, where you have like the chrome, but then you have like black in the outline or in the in the panel lines and stuff like that, and like the underside is black, and maybe with like little red accents here and there. I think that would look really, really sharp. Really sharp. Aaron Seach trying to keep it PG. You fill in the specific anatomy. Well, thank you for trying to keep it PG. Ninny Plug. I think that's a name I haven't read in a while. Crazy Spegs. I don't know what that means. Leo Shi's got to pop out for a little bit. Oh, poor guy. Imperator Andreas. Yay, I didn't miss it. No, you didn't miss it. Miss what? I don't know. African Wise Man and Chris. I'm also planning to do a trip to mini wargaming soon, once I've written my last paper. So wondering if there is a good or bad time to plan my trip. Aiming for early to mid-June. Looking to be around looking to be around a Welland, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Cool. Well, because I mean, like, got Niagara Falls, St. Catharines in the north, the bigger town, lots of shopping. Welland is kind of in the middle of the peninsula of Niagara, and we're basically just 20 minutes away from Niagara Falls, so it's pretty easy to find us. Be sure to book if you're planning to get some games in. Be sure to book. Email. I think is it the booking? I can't remember. But anyway, be sure to book your time and get slotted in. Excuse me. And yeah, so book your time. Be smart. Book now if you know what dates you're coming by. Imperator. It's pronounced Andias. Andias? Andreas. Excuse me. Imperator Andreas. Pardon me. Expect you Blue Chrome Alpha Legion. Yeah, we've done that. I've shown that in recent quick tips. I've done in that colored metallics. I've done Salamanders, which is a metallic green. I've done the not the Light Lords. The Alpha Legion, Thousand Suns. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all. And then of course you got Iron Hands and Iron Warriors. Who else is up there? Yeah, that's it. It's just a 3. Just a 3? I thought I did more than that. Anyway. A lot of fun. Definitely would recommend it. Anybody who wants to do, that kind of metallic colored metallics. Yeah. Tamiya Clear, Forge World Clears, or even Minotaur's Ghost Tints. All really good options. Mind you, though, with the Forge World option, there's a flip top lid in the old style GW paints. Kind of a pain to drizzle it in there because it's a paint pot as opposed to something that's a dropper style. But even the Tamiya clears, they're just a paint pot. You just pull, unscrew the lid, and you dunk, and you get it right. So same kind of pain in the ass as well. Ninny plug. How would that look if you painted them metallic and then used candy paints or tints over that? Like over the chrome? Over the chrome, it would be beautiful. If you lay down a nice solid chrome and then hit it with like any of the clears. Tamiya's would probably be the better one because it's a solvent based. It dries really, really fast. You load that into the airbrush and you lay it out. You have to thin it out, of course, with rubbing alcohol. And then just very lightly just build those layers up. Because when Tamiya clear dries, it's almost like glass. It's almost like glass when it's dry on the surface. So it's really, really good for that. And if it's chrome and it's like, that's also a solvent-based paint, yeah, they're probably better off working together like that rather than trying to go for something, like Forge Worlds or Minotaurs or anything like that. I mean, you can give it a try, but you probably get similar results, but I'm thinking something like Tamiya's would probably go better. Ninny plug. Oh God, I accidentally clicked the thumbnail for another video. Well, watch it twice as much. In stereo. You can have 2 different things in stereo. I think it's time for an email because there's quite a few, and this one's from the 16th, so we better get on these. This is from Dr. Zentos. Greetings, Kris. This time I shall present you with less text and more pictures, hopefully. Past few weeks have been tough, so painting hasn't worked out as planned, but have gotten things done. Man, I can't even read. Here are pictures of the bases for my Death Watch project, Mordenheim Warband, and the Wolf Riders projects. Less talk, more pictures. So let's have a look. So this is for his Mordenheim Warband. Very cool. Are they carrying bows or those spears? They look all bent. But either way, very cool. Very nice. I like the terrain. I like the depth of that terrain there. It looks pretty wild. That's very, very cool. Hey, let me click this here. Here we go. Oh, here's some archers. Very cool. I like your terrain. I'm more taken with the terrain at the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the color scheme and everything like that. It's all it's very. It almost feels very monochromatic, but it almost looks like this the cloth bits almost look like they have a touch of green to them. I'm just wondering what you're up to. How'd you go about doing these? Oh, look at these guys. More Mordenheim, Katie and Mordenheim. This guy was reminding me of did you ever play was it Ghosts and Goblins when the little knight and then he gets hit and he gets the armor knocked off him and he's running around in his underwear throwing spears at people. That's what this reminds me of right here. Very good though. I like. Oh, he's scary. Oh, he's an Age of Sigmar dude. Just trimmed off all the nice little parts on him. The shield you should do up like little scratches and dents and stuff on it. Just so it looks like he's been, knocking people around and stuff, right? Oh, he's teetering on the edge. Don't jump, buddy. Don't jump. I like that. Just a little splash of red in there with the sash. That's very cool. Oh, look at this guy. Very cool. I think a little bit more highlighting on the gold. Or is this a work in progress? Is this a work in progress? This might be a work in progress. Either way, I think I'd go a little bit brighter with the gold. Just create a little bit more separation with that red. I like your table, man. Look at those buildings, man. These are great. Sorry, folks. I'm keep yawning here. This is awesome. I like the walkways and that was the one fun part about Mordheim was that it was like Necromunda in the regards that you had these walkways between houses and you had the fighting in the bottom and you had all these avenues to attack people with. Ooh, look at these bases. That's purdy. Purdy. Oh, it's like a man. Because I see a little man fella here. And it almost looks very man. Like eagle heads or something. It's man. Whoops. There we go. Of course, it wouldn't be man without some skulls. Yeah, see, it's got the little trenches for all the blood to flow. Whoa. That's a cyber wolf. Very cool. I think when you're dry brushing, you should try and be a little bit more deliberate where you're aiming your dry brushing. For example, concentrating just at the tips of the ears, just at the tips of the nose and mouth, just across the eyebrows. You know what I mean? So that you have like these deeper colors, and you get this you get more of a transition of colors going on. Just like the tail, you just dry brush that brighter color at the end of the tail, leaving more your darker tones and stuff like that running, and you get this nice transition going on. But thank you, Dr. Xantos. Was it Dr. Xantos? Yeah, it was Dr. Xantos sent this in, eh? Yes, Dr. Xantos. Thank you, Dr. Xantos, sending that in. Very good stuff. I like it. I like your table. That's just awesome. Hopefully you got a nice big gaming group that you guys can sit down and, shoot arrows at each other. And muskets. Muskets? Muskets. Mushketch. Back to the comments. Despite you, loves the stuff. Dr. Santos, the big guy is work in progress. The terrain was custom made for our club. Very cool. Very cool. I like that terrain. I was whoever if there's a bunch of guys working on it, awesome stuff. I really like it. It like because that's the thing really about really good terrain. I mean, you can have nicely painted models, but it's not like it's gonna get you like into the spirit of playing the game, right? But when you go into a place and you see tables set up and it's beautiful terrain, you immediately want to play. You want to sit down and roll some dice and So, man, I love having my Eldar just running through here. This looks fantastic, and the flyers, and this would be great. And look, I bet you can hide here and get the kind of save here. You know what I mean? Like immediately you want to play, and so that's really the big factor of the game is terrain, and so many people kind of skimp on terrain a lot of times. They just it's just terrain. I don't want to do that, but. And good thing for them because guys like Adam Greenleaf Terrain, I guess they'd be out of a job if everybody did their own terrain or bought store bought crap or whatever like that, right? But terrain's a big part of the game, and I know me personally, it gets me drawn right into the game immediately. That I want to play beautiful table. I immediately want to play. Where am I? Dr. Xantos, we're actually on our second Mordenheim campaign, going at around 11 of 15. Oof, that's a long one. Aaron Siege, Frostgrave would be sick on that table too. Yeah, Frostgrave would know. Frostgrave and Mordenheim kind of same thing. Alex Bello. Okay, so let's talk about Battlefield 5. How amazing does it look? Rest in peace, Call of Duty. That's my son chiming in, changing the subject here because we love Battlefield, and I've played Battlefield games for a long time, and this new Battlefield, it's just an opening cinematic, but World War One with biplanes and the old style tanks, and who knows what else crazy crap is going to throw in there. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and especially with the trench warfare. It should be pretty good. Despite you, Battlefield 1, you mean. So hype. Despite you, are you one of those Call of Duty guys? You like your Call of Duty? Random mob. I've been buying map sets for my games. Actual terrain is just so pricey. It is pricey, but think of it, as investing, in the experience of playing. Because who wants to sit there and play 40K, on the kitchen table with some books stacked up and threw a green bed sheet over it, and grab some twigs and stuck them in plasticine and on some cardboard, and there's a tree, and like it doesn't draw you in the same as going out and making it or buying kits or stuff like that, or getting somebody to make some for you. Nothing beats it. It's all about the environment. Because why spend that much time painting your models if you're not going to enjoy the experience of sitting there looking at it? Who knows what kind of cool pictures you can get out of it all and stuff like that, right? So yeah. Aaron Seach, what kills a beautiful table like that is when some asset shows up with unpainted models. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. Plasma Play. Kris, is there a brand of brush soap you would recommend? Thomas Huntley, the Masters brush. Yeah. Masters brush soap. Right here. There are other brands out there, but this is the stuff I use all the time. I've been using it for years and years and years, and hasn't failed me yet. It's just basically a little bar soap, and you just run your brush over it. I've got many videos on brush care out there, and often in those videos, that's the soap I'm using. But I know there's a bunch of others that do equally good job. It's just that's the one I use, and it's the one that's readily available because Michael sells it by tubs of it and stuff like that. Because it's I used to use it in college as well, because we used to use it for oil painting. We used to clean our brushes and stuff like that. So yeah. Despite you, that's where it is. Trench warfare, wanted, needed. Yeah, that Battlefield. Yeah, I know it looks really, really good. I know it's gonna draw in. Yeah, and then along with Dawn of War 3. But Dawn of War 3, that's gonna be PC, and whereas Battlefield, that'll be on the consoles and computer. And right now, I've been playing a lot of Battlefront again. I just forget how much fun that game is. It's just so much fun. I've just been running around shooting at people and just going for achievements and stuff, and yeah, just having fun. Where are we? It's by you. Dawn of War 3 and Battlefield 1 Witness Me. Isaac Neal. Dawn of War 3 trailer confused the hell out of me. Why would it confuse the hell out of you? I think it's easier to think of what that trailer was about is if you realize that it's the afterlife. That you're looking at the afterlife. Whatever that big pit was, that big mountain, is it, like, is that someplace in the warp? And the dead bodies are just, they're just falling in and they're just falling in. And then, of course, they wake up, or maybe they're still laying there, but in their heads, their spirits are still fighting the battles, and everybody in this area is just in constant, war, which I think is really what captures 40K, is that the universe is in a constant state of war. That, like there's the threat of Tyranids, the threat of orcs, and Necrons, because we never even talk about, the actual natural disasters that can happen to a solar system, like the sun exploding and things like that, and wipe out entire solar systems. I mean, never talk about that. No, they always talk about an Inquisitor firing a missile and blowing up the entire planet, but they never talk about, like a supernova and, destroying an entire solar system, or, just natural disasters in the universe that can, wipe out in civilizations. And meanwhile, everybody else is just, shooting at each other. What the heck? Yeah. So Dawn of War 3, yeah, I think that's really what it is. It's you're looking at the afterlife, because even when you look at the Space Marine, you can see like his symbol on his armor. It almost looks like it's like melding into his suit, and like even his face and some of that, it looks like it's like the skin is like pulling, and he just doesn't look normal. And even like the orcs look kind of funny. The Eldar, like the armor on the Eldar, it looks almost like desiccated bone, which doesn't really kind of suit how you kind of imagine them, and so everything kind of has this kind of, like they're dead, they're dead, and they're just constantly just fighting each other, and the bodies are just come pouring in, and yeah. Isaac Neal, it's an Eldar Farseer voice is narrating. I would assume so. Because it's typically always, I don't know why for the Eldar, it's always a female voice. They never have no dude talking. I don't know. Nobody ever said that Eldar were a matriarchal society, but maybe they are. Lazy Monkey, I want squats to be in Dawn of War 3. Dang it. No, let squats go. Let them go. Geeko. A supernova doesn't destroy a system; it destroys on a galaxy scale. Yeah, well, there you go, right? So, there you go. A supernova would just obliterate an entire sector of space. I mean, but we don't talk about that in 40K. Pulsars, quasars, black holes. There's none of that. None of the actual kind of scientific celestial phenomena have any kind of bearing on the state of warfare in 40K. Boom, 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 boom. That's by you. They should have had orcs narrate. No, I don't know. It would just be too silly. I mean, I like how when you see the one orc and they're walking by and he rips apart the one space marine and he sees the little Gretchen on the ground, and with like the side of his blade he hits him and sends him flying. And then of course for the little Gretchen's trouble, all of a sudden the space marines show up and blast him. But again, I think that's the whole point of the video, right? Is it's maybe it's a chaos world and these guys are all they're just spirits, But who knows? Who can say? We'll find out, I guess, when the game drops, really, is what it is. Let's do an email, if I can grab the right mouse. Oh, yeah, Space Hulk Deathwing. That's the other one. Oh, man. See, that's another one. Space Hulk Deathwing. All these games. All these games are going to suck up my painting time. Suck away the years of my life. This is an email from Tyler Bortel. Kris, way back in Way the Brush episode 111, I showed you a dark elf I'd done up and asked about an effect on a stealth suit. You recommended Minotaur Plasma Fluid. My gosh, you were right. These are some very work-in-progress pics of the first suit. I wanted to go for a galactic feel on the main armor panels. I base coated with Abaddon Black, pre-shaded with my airbrush, and then hit it with the sweet juice. The sweet juice. Plasma fluid. After that, I did some stars and compressed air of the paintbrush trick. Oh yeah, you just load up your paintbrush and then just spurt your air at it. Yeah, good. And then hit it some part with a light coat of sweet juice to help them blend in better. Sweet juice. I hit the whole thing matte, added the super high gloss on the bits I wanted in the effect. I then went over the other bits in Abaddon Black. The next step will be some edge highlighting on the black and, of course, base work. What do you think? DFTBA. Tyler Bertella. DFTBA. Oh, I know you guys told me that one before. I can't remember what that one is, though. DFTBA. Anyway. Okay, so he's going for this celestial kind of look on the armor. And I think he's winning. I think he's pulling it off. If you like, just right from this first shot here, like on the shoulder pad here, you can see very nice little white splotches. Like you got like a really nice control on that. Like in the gun. I think with the galaxy kind of stuff, like, you know, how you're going for this whole kind of galaxies and you know, quasar and stuff like that. I think don't be afraid to throw in a little bit of like purples and greens and things like that into it as well. Just hints of the color. Because you look at a lot of Hubble photographs of like quasars and other galaxies and nebulas and stuff like that, and because really that's what you're creating there is like a nebula. And nebulas, at least as far as what we've seen from Hubble, they have those little spooches of color in there as well. I don't know if they actually do, and I've heard that it's actually an artistic license they're taking with that. That in fact it's just like the different radio waves and stuff like that. But anyway, very good. I'm liking it. I like how nice and small you got the white dots though. Like how nice and controlled that was. Oh, here that looks really good right along there. Nice, good color variation. And yeah, the plasma fluid, it does pull in that nice blue, and it blends so well with black. And yeah, like if anybody's ever gonna just pick up one Minotaur ghost tint to play with, man, just pick up plasma fluid. That'll be the only one you need for any of your blue effects. Like it's like plasma fluid's great for like doing like the OSL on plasma guns and OSL on blue lights or white lights or anything like that. Yeah, man, just do it. But anywho, thank you, Tyler, for sending that in. I think that was it, eh? Was that it? Yeah, that was it. That was it from Tyler. Thank you. Very cool. And again, of course, send more pics of your work in progress, because and see if you can get us a little bit tighter in there. Or I don't know, because a couple of the pictures look just a little bit fuzzy, and I'm wondering if maybe if you're doing like a cell phone and you're moving a bit or something. But either way, nice work. Keep going, and keep going. John Gore, Hubble doesn't do color pictures. They do color code elements, so the big clouds of color are essentially the colors dust out in space. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, it was they're coloring it by what kind of elements they're seeing in the infrared and the X-rays, and the dust is particularly like if it's if it's heavy iron and it's moving out this way, it gets colored in yellows or oranges or reds, right? And if it's more nitrogens and some of that or gases, it comes out blues this way. What I mean? Like that's what I understood as what like the Hubble was doing for those pictures, is that's how they come about with those really beautiful pictures. Is like, I mean, I guess if you could see in the in the ultraviolet or in the X-ray spectrum, you would see these colors, but unfortunately we don't. So, hey, but either way, they make for great pictures, and I mean, the kind of stuff that you can just hang on your wall. I mean, like the Horsehead Nebula. I mean, like everybody's familiar with that one. I mean, like that's a piece that could just hang on your wall. It's so pretty. Where are we in the comments? I don't know. Lazy Monkey, space is full of colors. Space is full of colors. Geeko, I'm happy with the game developer that has seen the epicness that is World War One. Well, unfortunately, yeah, the big portion of World War One is bogged down, right? There's many, many, many years of the war that it's just senseless slaughter. Where like they were still fight because they were still transitioning from tactics from the Napoleonic era, where men march forward in a line and shoot and then reload and march forward, and what I mean. They were still trying to get their head around those kind of tactics, and it isn't until the end of the war that all of a sudden technology starts to rear its ugly head and give us more options, right? Because essentially they were all trying to beat the trench, because those trenches were just dug in deep and huge networks, and of course, then they would spend months and months and months digging these huge tunnels, loading them with TNT, and then exploding them, right? And then just to blow out the trench networks. Like, how crazy is that? Like, my God. And apparently, like in Europe, there's still some of those TNT trench holes. Like they were going into the German lines and stuff like that, like to blow up the lines. Apparently, there's still a few of those around, right on top of somebody's Quickie Mart or something like that. And just one day, 500 pounds of TNT is going to go off and send it into space. But anyway, on a lighter note, despite you, Kris, are you working on any kind of personal projects? Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier that I'm going to do some airbrush noob videos on doing my wraith blades. I'm not going to do them in the traditional kind of, like, they're going to be Samhan, but I'm not going to do them, really bright. In fact, I'm doing something kind of different here, because basically I've gone in with a black base and built the color up with angelic blood from Minotaur, which is essentially Mephiston red. Built it up mostly with that, and then very carefully I come in with a renegade with the Badger Renegade, and then I come in and I just kind of put spot highlights on stuff, catchy edges of some areas, and I've been using this red right here from Golden, and I really like these paints. They go on such a strong pigment, and they have no thickness to them. They're just like it's just changing the color of the surface, So I really like them. Anybody who's going to be airbrushing, especially a lot. Well, mainly because this guy I repainted over. I didn't even strip him and reprime him, and I just laid Golden's carbon black paint on top of it, which is really thin, but it's like it just brings night. It just like one coating, it just went like that, and it was black as night. And started from there because I knew like these colors, they go on really thin, but they're such a strong pigment. So I figured I could get away with, just painting over the model rather than stripping it and starting over. So, yeah. But yeah, so Spite You, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna be working on. I'll probably get started on those today, and probably won't see them until probably like Monday. I'll start, publishing them. Just give me a bit of time to edit them and stuff like that. Thomas Huntley. It's poo in Danish. What? Oh, John Gore. Pillars of creation are bay. Lazy Monkey. What is bay? John Gore before anybody anyone else? Babe? Poo in Danish. Lazy Monkey. I'll go with the Danish interpretation. Yeah, so I don't know how we got onto the poo subject, but I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be surprised, by now, just random topics pop up. James Gurnell, first time watching live. Just a quick question. I've got back into the hobby. What are a good set of brushes and paints to use? Thank you. I mean, if you are familiar with, if you're familiar with the Citadel brushes, I mean, they're about on par for whatever kind of sable haired brushes you're going to be out there buying. But I mean, you can go with, anybody's paintbrushes really are really good. I mean, Winsor Newton's for really fine detail. Go to your local art supply store, and look up in the area, in the brush section, any of the watercolor brushes and any of the really small watercolor brushes. They often have, bristles maybe varying in length from I'd say about a centimeter and some down to about half a centimeter bristle length. And those will be really good for, what you need. You're basically going to want to pick up sable brushes. You get Klonsky sables. They get a little bit more pricey. Not a huge issue. You can also go with synthetics as well. Army Painter synthetics aren't bad. They got very comfortable brush handles. I can't reach them from here, but anyway, I've got a whole bunch of Army Painter brushes. They do synthetics. I'm not a huge fan of synthetics, but I know a lot of painters out there who do wonderful work with synthetics, and so, it's my own bias. I mean, really is what it is. And so it's really whatever brushes you're comfortable with, whatever you're comfortable with spending, and whatever is readily available to you. If you have zero trouble getting your hands on Citadel brushes, then by all means, get some. Just when you purchase them, and if you're purchasing them right from the store, take that little cap off, have a look, and make sure the bristles all come to a point before you buy it. Because if they don't, then give it to the store guy and say, this brush is already mangled up. You don't want to go home and find the brush mangled. I mean, that's really the point. Of course, and really the next thing is that you're going to want to pick yourself up some brush soap so that you can take care of your brushes. Clean them. Keep your brushes clean. I don't know if you're a Vault member, James, but I have many videos in Mini Wargaming's Vault on brush care, even proper brush handling in the paint and stuff like that. It really is just when you're drawing paint from the pots and things like that. It just really kind of open your eyes to really kind of taking care of your brushes, because again, we do invest a lot of money in our brushes, and you want to take care of them, and you want your tool to work as properly for as long as possible, properly for as long as possible. So yeah, James. So hopefully that answers your question. It's really, what's available around you, what is, what's affordable, I mean, if money's no object, then, go wild. Get yourself some Winsor Newton Series 7s miniature. There's two different Series 7s. There's a Series 7 and then a Series 7 miniature. Make sure you get yourself Series 7 miniature. Also, Da Vinci's another good one. I've been told. Raphael is another brush line. Yeah. Even brushes like Games and Gears, they sell, brushes that are geared towards miniature painters. And they're fairly comfortable. They got a nice thick handle to them, and the bristles are really nice and soft, I find, whereas versus Games Workshop, where they do really have kind of a sable blend. It's really not all sable. It's like sable and a firmer bristle. I don't know what it is. Could be horsehair for all I know. And yeah, because the sable bristles, Games Workshop sable, doesn't have as much bend, right? It's a little bit firmer versus I've used other, even my Winsor Newtons. this sable, it just like reads in the wind. It just bends really easily. So there's a lot to go through. Despite you, still no Millennium Falcon. Love to get that model myself. Yeah, I haven't even touched my Millennium Falcon. And guess what? I just bought myself a Y-wing and and Darth Vader's TIE fighter. I just bought those the other day, so those are gonna be like a month from now. So because I ordered them from Japan, good price too. Do eBay, look them up. Bandai Star Wars, awesome kits, and apparently the Star Destroyer is coming out soon. It's up for pre-order, so, but it's really cheap. It's like $10, so I think it's probably something like yay big. I think, which is kind of dumb, but oh well. Oh, where are we? James Cornell. Thank you, and you said my name right, and he spelled right wrong. Lazy Monkey. I was curious about a bit of slang. Kris. Oh. About the Bay thing? Oh. Despite you, I have a few Citadel brushes. I normally pick up a pack of cheap, simple brushes for bitch work. Costs like $5 for a set of brushes, and it's worked for me. Yeah. Same thing. I mean, when I first got into this hobby, I really wasn't that concerned with my brushes, and I was using I don't know, some of you guys might remember testers used to have like those white-handled, they were like short brushes, and they had the thick plastic bristles. Yeah, I was painting some of my models with that thing. Man, sometimes I was to get like the eyeballs and stuff. I used to use the end of a thumbtack. I used to like get the thumbtack and just a dot of paint on the end of the thing and do the dots in the eyes. Yeah, it worked. Toothpicks, stuff like that. Yeah, whatever I could use. That was when I was really young. Lazy Monkey. Synthetic brushes don't last as long as quality sables, but are often cheaper. Like a cup, I keep them around in special shapes. I don't use much, but have a random need for. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I have synthetic brushes as well that I use for various tasks. Like I have an older synthetic brush that I use for spreading out the glue. I just use it for glue. Synthetic brushes. When you're using other paints, like say Tamiya, where they're solvent based, where you got to like cut them with alcohol, I use synthetic brushes. I don't use my sable brushes for those kind of paints. So that's also something else to bear in mind. Lazy Monkey. I like Series 7 standards miniatures. I tend to get more paint in the furrow in the standards. I can hold more paint without going back to the palette, but personal preference is there. Yeah, exactly. Again, with everything like this, paints, brushes, soaps, palettes, miniatures, whatever, it is all personal preference. It's all personal preference. There's no paint line that's the best paint line. There's no brush line that's the best brush line. Again, it's really great when you see really great works of art, miniatures and stuff like that, and they're painted. It's the artist who made that, not that paint, not that brush, not the brush soap, not the miniature, none of those things. It was the artist who made that, and it's all in the person. And again, so don't feel that because some people like to rip on GW's brushes, but they're good brushes. I've been using them for years, and I've been using various other brushes, and they hold up just as well as long as you take care of them. And it's just like any brush, as long as you take care of it, it's going to work for a long time for you. Oh my God, the Gim, Eldar suck at work. The Gim. Anybody who's wondering who the Gim is, in the intro for Way the Brush, the fellow who sits up with no shirt, that's the Gim. You got to watch out for the Gim. You don't drop the soap around the Gim. You got to watch out for that one. Thomas Rasmussen. Hey, I'm here. Well, welcome, Thomas. John Doe. Hello. Thomas, did I miss anything? Nah, you didn't miss anything. We did a few emails. We're just chit-chatting, talking about brushes, talking about the importance of the artist over what brand name of brush, paint, whatever you're using. It's not, those things don't matter. Those are trivial matters. What matters is the artist. Holy man, there she is, Gloom Dreddy. Wow, are Germans allowed to watch and chat now, finally? Yes, I guess so. I think it's been for, I think almost a month, because there was somebody else who was German. I don't remember who it was, but they said that, yeah, they could finally watch this show live. Yeah. Aaron Seach, even a cheap set of modeling brushes from a Hobby Lobby work good. Yeah, exactly. It all depends on what you're doing with it. What kind of work you're trying to get out of it. And as long as you take care of it, it'll keep doing the same job for you, If you let the paint get into the furrow, the hairs are going to go everywhere. And every brush is like that. It doesn't matter if it's a cheap $2 brush from Dollar Store or Winsor Newton Series, whatever's, or Citadel. If the paint gets into the furrow, the bristles are going to splay all over the place and you ruin your brush. It's as simple as that. Toothless just arrived. Hey guys, did I miss anything? No, you didn't miss anything. We've just been talking, chatting, catching up. Dr. Santos, you're walking in the woods. There's no one around, and your phone is dead. At the corner of your eye, you see him, the Gim. Yeah, that's about it, Doc. That's about it, man. You just see, I'm totally screwed here. I'm in the woods. It's like midnight. You can hear the wolves howling in the distance, and in the corner of your eye, you see it. It's like it. You see him underneath like the street lamp, and just the light cast over him, and it's Jim. It's the Gim. Oh man. Dr. Santos, if that happens, either run or play dead. Yeah, it's like a bear attack. Did you guys watch The Revenant? Oh man, it's the same thing. It's like you just gotta lay there and just play dead. He'll maul you a little bit, but just play dead. Lazy monkey, I scream like a girl and run. Gloom Dreddy, hey Kris, heard you kept Jay and Owen awake at Adepticon. Yeah, well, because Kris doesn't do anything small and quiet, so yeah, I snore, and they weren't used to it. Johannes Henspec, hi Kris, hi. Johannes. John Doe, that's about you. Look at the latest sales from Hobby Lobby. A lot of brushes and paints. I can see why. Aaron Seach, Way of the Gim show title. Way of the Gim? Well, Jim is Gim, but it's Jim. Gim might be making an appearance in the coming weeks because he may be coming to visit me. So we will see. I'll have to have him sit in on Way of the Brush again. Not shirtless. Well, maybe shirtless. Who knows? With that big, gigantic, manly beard. We should have him and Josh do a beard off. Look like those two hillbillies from Looney Tunes. Josh is the dark one. Gim is the red one. Pulling out each other's beards. That used to be one of my favorite Bugs Bunny episodes. Was the hillbilly, and he's playing the fiddle, and they're all do-si-doing. Anyway, Dark Mako 91, Kris, I've painted my towel black and some red on them. I sent you an email just now, and I'm wondering, should I go all shiny and chrome, or should I do more with them as they are? Without having looked at what you got done, I would say go shiny and chrome. Shiny towel? I don't know if I made it clear before, but basically base coat them in chrome. Okay? Not too heavily, but enough that that chrome is there and it's nice and shiny. Okay. Hopefully you're not obscuring any details. And then with like the cloth and stuff like that, you come in with like Eshin Gray or Abaddon Black. I'd go Eshin Gray. That way you could hit it with Null Oil and kill two birds with one stone. Get your shades and your highlights already on there and everything. And yeah. And then have like the lenses bright red. You could have like the helmet markings in red. Man, that'd be awesome. I think that'd be spectacular. I don't know why. Has anybody done that? Shoot me a link if anybody's done Chrome Tau, because I think that would look really, really super duper. Dr. Santos, a few emails and lots of witnessing. Oh, Nicholas Allen, I'm here. What I miss? Yeah, a few emails and Mark and Joe. Used to saying it around here because that's the orc character, Mark and Joe. Anyway. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Speaking of emails, yeah. Dude, email. Pushy. People getting pushy with me. Hey, speaking of Mark and Nicholas Allen, this is his email. Hello, Kris. I hope this email finds you well. Included below are some Malifaux models that I've been working on. Per your advice, last week used my airbrush to highlight the flames and I'm very pleased with the results. I also experimented with oil washes. While it was a bit tricky to learn at first, I was again pleased. As always, comments and criticism are welcome. Sent by his iPhone. I don't know why it tells you that crap. Like, it was sent by an iPhone, sent by an iPad, sent from his computer, sent from Spain. I don't care where it was sent from. This is very cool. I like it. I like the highlights in the cloth, the hat. I like that you went with the blue. Is it a blue or is it like that turquoise? It's kind of hard to tell right here. Well, let's zoom in a bit. Zoom in. Yeah, that's really good. I like it. I like it, man. I like it. I dig it. I like the work on the pants here. Yeah. I'm really digging it. Kind of has this whole Ghost Rider vibe to it. And he's got a big skull face too. Focus. There we go. Yeah. Wee. I like. Yeah, it's Ghost Rider. It's Ghost Rider. I like it. Ark, come on. Who's this? Nice piece. Yes, yeah. I like how you just got just the ends of the hairs here, just the ends of the bangs. Maybe just on the top here. The armor. Yeah, see, it looks like about 2 or 3 highlights, like on the armor plates. Really good. I like you kept the highlights nice and subtle, so that you kept the armor feeling black without going gray. I really like that. Really good choices there. Oops, was that it? That wasn't it. Oh, here we go. Ghost Rider again. Very cool. Of course, pieces like this, they always beg for like some OSL, like some shining on his shoulders and on his knee, toe, down his arm. But yeah, very cool. Criticism, no criticisms at this moment I can think of. I was really, really liking it. The only thing I was not completely digging it. Like a model like this, I think she should go better on a little slightly higher base, or like something that looked like a wall or something. Like she's standing on the edge of a wall, or something like that, just to kind of build her up a bit more. Because it's just how low she's sitting to the base. This one here was initially on this guy. The flames don't feel quite as bright, and yeah, in the front picture here, because I could see looks like black still in there. Versus if you had completely come in with white and then built the color up and got a nice bright color built up. But other than that, I mean, no biggie. I mean, it looks good still. Don't get me wrong. Another one I would recommend is picking up like Vallejo sells like the fluorescent colors, and using fluorescent orange. Man, does that do wonders for making flames really stand out? Fluorescent colors, yeah. I recommend that to anybody out there who fluorescent orange is really great. Fluorescent yellow is good, but it tends to look almost green on top of some colors, or you let it interplay with some colors, and it ends up kind of looking kind of green. The blue was my least favorite. The blue I found not to be as fluorescency. Fluorescency? Oh, magenta. Magenta was another one that just like burns your retinas. Yeah, it was a good one though. Yeah. GS squared 7. Get over it, Chris. Sent from my computer. Harry Wiseman, sent from your mama's house. You know what? That's the title of the show. That's the title of your show. Mainly because we haven't picked out a title yet, so that's the title of the show. And yeah. It just seemed appropriate. It just somehow seemed very, very, very appropriate. Way of the Brush, sent from your mama's house. Sorry, coffee break. Coffee. Alrighty. G squares. Thanks for fluorescent orange tips. Yeah, fluorescent orange. Yeah, definitely. Vallejo makes. There's only a few fluorescent colors that Vallejo does, but I've done a few videos on using the fluorescents, and yeah, I did use the orange I think for fire and something else. I think I might have used it on a demon for skin or something. I can't remember. But anyway, a lot of fun. Really bright. And the magenta is just explosive. Nicholas Allen, the flames on the hat got a bit of an oil wash. Oh, and the carvings. Oh, that's what that is, the oil wash. Okay. And then there was the black that came from, yeah. John Doe, still not sure about the game. Great line of minis, but the cards over dice seems to complicate things a bit much. Still something different to paint. I kind of liked the card mechanic in that, rather than dice. Mainly because, when you're rolling dice, you got, like, especially with 40K, I mean, like, you're rolling, like, buckets and buckets of dice, and it's like, come on. At least with War Machine, you only ever needed 5 dice in your hand. You only ever have 5 dice in your hand in War Machine. And whereas Malifaux, you have no dice. And in fact, with no dice, you don't have to worry about sending dice flying across the table and chipping miniatures and knocking over terrain, rolling onto the floor or anything like that, right? You just got your card, bang, slap it on the table. Bang, bang, I kind of like that mechanic. I really like that. Despite you, where did Bob go? I don't know. Who's Bob? Gloom Dreddy. So your mom's house is mini wargaming? Does that mean Steve is your mom? No, that would mean that Matt and Dave are mom and dad. Steve's the ugly stepsister. He's the ogre in the closet. He's at your mom's house. Oh, man. Let's do another email because we can, and we might as well keep powering through these. This is from Legion Painting. Right, okay, I want to grab some Death Skull Orcs, but I'm not going to use GW. I plan to use these Army Painter things. Matte Black, Matte White, Goblin Green, Greenskin, Crystal Blue, Ultramarine Blue, and finally Green and Blue Tone Quick Shade inks. I have some pics of what I want to achieve, so yeah, give me knowledge, please. Also, could you tell me how to paint a model like Cromlech Orc War Chief? There's a pic in the email. Okay. Now, are these your models or are these somebody else's models? Because this is, oh no, this is broken paintbrush. So, and that's Cromlex model. Now, I'd imagine you're going to use the sprays, right? So you're going to use the matte black to prime them. Then you can goblin green them. I think greenskins is actually darker, and then goblin green. Because these are all names of the spray paints, and they're not really. I don't know if they're the same as the war paint. If they are the same, well then, good, great. And the green and blue quick shade tones, yeah, very cool. How would you paint the orc war chief? Well, I guess with a lot, I can't zoom in. Oh well, can't zoom in. But anyway, if you're going to be using just the regular or just Army Painter colors, they'll work just the same as GW colors. And in fact, Army Painter's paints are pretty darn close match to Citadel's paints. If that's a full line of the sprays you're talking about, then I guess what you're thinking is hit him black, zenithal white, then hit it with like a little bit of green skin, and then goblin green on top, and then blue. But you can't get you'd have to mask off areas where you want that blue face paint and stuff like that to go. You're better off doing that by hand, and then of course using the green and blue quick shades to just kind of help build those colors up a bit and shade them in the face. And if you did like half the face, you gotta shade wash it. But yeah, sticking with just those colors, yeah. I mean, you still want to have some browns in there. You still want some metals in there. Yeah. And as far as the cheap goes, you paint them just like how you do your other orcs. Although you want to make them special, so I would actually go maybe brighter with the flesh tone, or even darker with the flesh tone. Maybe give them brighter armor, or maybe give them like blue armor at places, or man, there's a bazillion different ways you can go with that guy. But I mean, yeah, wrong mouse. But yeah, because I mean, like he's not overly complicated, but yeah, I thought these were your models, but by the sounds of it, they're other companies' models. So, anywho, yeah. So hopefully, Legion, that helps. And if it doesn't, well, send me another email, and hopefully we'll clear it up a bit. Where are we? African wise man. Steve is that weird uncle that you're not really related to, but he comes over all the time, and so everyone's used to him, and his fits of madness and PTSD. Yeah, it's kind of like that. That's really what it is. Steve is love. Steve is life. He's in the other room right now, by the way. Aaron Siege, that means Quirk is your punk little brother? Yes. Yes, that's exactly the relationship. He's a punk. Lazy Monkey. Don't most of the Army Painter colored primers have a color matching war paint? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure they did. I just wasn't sure if he was talking about the spray paints or if he's talking about like the bottles. But yeah, I'm pretty sure and they have the same names, I think, yeah. Thomas Rasmussen, where's Quirk? He's in the other room. Or no, actually he's playing a game. African wise man, shade him in face. I shaded that model. It's in something face. Lazy Monkey, we can see Kris has distinct preferences for emails containing pictures of your own work, not someone else's, as it should be. Yes. Yeah, well, because I mean, if it's for like reference or something, I mean, I'll still look at it, and but I mean, because YouTube gets kind of funny about these kind of images and crap like that, and music and video, but. Steve, Steve. Hold on. He's coming. I'm going to call you Stampy.
Stampy?
Yeah. Come here.
I can't fit through all your lights.
Just lift your legs up.
Yeah.
Lift. Oh, my God, man.
So graceful.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, my God. It's all coming apart.
I can't get in.
I can't get in.
It's a maze.
Anyway. Lazy monkey. Get your ass over here. Yeah. There you go. Fit your monkey head right in here. Look how big your head looks.
Well, I'm closer to the camera. There we go.
Yeah, get real close so you look gigantic. There you go. Anyway, Lazy Monkey says, we loves you, Steve.
Thank you, Lazy Monkey. That's all?
Yeah,
that's why I came through all these booby traps?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Monkey.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
When you can tell whenever Steve's walking around because again it sounds like Stampy. Just stomp, 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 stomp. Yeah, there it is. Not even kidding. Random mob. Kris and I am strongly considering stripping an entire army to repaint it. Any tips on how to go about this in a timely manner? Get yourself a big container. And whatever solution you're thinking of going for stripping, either brake fluid or simple green or alcohol, just whatever. Like, are they all plastic? Are they all metal? Just chuck them into a big container, throw them in, and just let them sit a day and some, then come up, and then just, toothbrush, whatever. Something mostly gentle, and just scrape the thing clean. It's a lot of muscle work, but yeah. That's really about all I can think of as far as just kind of getting stripping an entire army. Man, that's a huge undertaking. I mean, you may as well. You might even be better off selling off those models and just buying new kits for the time it'll take you and work and the amount of work it'll take you. So, something else to consider as well. Thomas Huntley, Kris, you must be bored of painting Marines. Why? Because I've been painting them for the last couple of months. Can you do some quick tips on Dark Elf Witch Elves? Yes, I can. I'm on the Iron Warrior right now. There's only going to be a few videos out of him, and then it's Ultramarine, and so I figure 2 weeks we'll be back to regular kind of quick tips. Yeah, but the fun part is that I will have one of every pre-heresy Marine done, which is going to be kind of interesting. I'm starting to stutter now. Kind of interesting, I think. Just having them all arrayed together like that, and yeah. I don't know if anybody's attempted that yet, doing a tutorial on every chapter pre-heresy, but in 2 weeks, it'll be completed by me. So, yeah. It's kind of like the first guy on the moon kind of thing. Nobody remembers the second guy who made it to the moon. It's always going to be the first guy to the moon. Thomas, Steve the Stampede. John Doe at random. I've heard that simple green works for stripping paint fairly well. Yes, I've heard that as well. I've used it a little bit. I still prefer brake fluid, but mainly because brake fluid. It's the alcohol that's in the brake fluid that breaks down the paint. And so if you went and got yourself some isopropyl alcohol, which is kind of expensive for a little 1 liter bottle to fill up a little tub, with the alcohol and strip the paint off, it would work really, really well. It would be really great on the styrene plastic, but actually probably eat at the glue as well. If you were using super glue, yeah, I'd probably eat at that as well. Versus if you use plastic cement, which is basically melts the plastic and makes a bond. Yeah, no solvent's gonna melt that without melting the entire model. So for our styrene plastic models, you should always be using plastic cement to glue your parts together. Ninny Plug. I heard that they changed the formula so simple green doesn't work so well anymore. Really? I have not heard that. Interesting. Can anybody else confirm that? Simple Green's recipe was changed and it is no longer good for stripping models? Has anybody else heard that? Please let me know. Dr. Santos, random. Brake fluid for metal and plastic if you're not in a hurry. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I always left mine long. I sometimes forget about them, but I mean, they'd be fine. Although, you know what we discovered? Brake fluid, fine cast. Fine cast doesn't like brake fluid. It becomes very, very soft and jello-y. Yeah. We discovered that one a while back. Random mob, they're all plastic. Okay, cool. Aaron Siege. Steve reminds me of the snowman from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Painting away at a model, quietly mumbling, I will name him George and pet him and hug him and squeeze him and love him and stroke him and feed him. We should get Steve recording that. Gloom Dreddy. I used my stripping toothbrush for my teeth a bit ago. Lesson learned. Ay, yuck. And when you work at your bathroom sink, put away your stripping materials after you are done. Yes, I would. That's some wise words there. It's like brushing your teeth with the toilet brush or something. Big Star Wars fan 10. I'm late. What I miss? You missed quite a bit. Quite a bit. A few emails and some life lessons. Thomas Huntley. My big tip for stripping is Dettol. It's a disinfectant. Would be not to rinse your scrubbing brush in water. Rinse it in neat Dettol. Really? Thomas, gloom. Oh, it's the same thing as drinking for brush cleaning water. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brush water? Oh, yeah. Or just sitting there drinking your coffee and then you have your rinse bottle and you're drinking your coffee and you rinse your brush off in your coffee. Oh, I don't know how many times I've done that. Back in the day, I used to paint with my two other buddies, and we'd sit there and just chill and it actually became a game to rinse your brush off in your other buddy's coffee. So you kind of come across and just rinse it off. Oh, awful. Aaron Seach, mean green is a cheap alternative to simple green. That doesn't work anymore. Really? Despite you, I just know that I'm not drinking water, and so I don't get confused. Oh my God. People poison themselves. Random up. I'm just going to leave them and get another Calth box set. Well, I mean, you might as well just sell the models. Recoup some of your cost or whatever you paid, and get yourself another box. If that's all it was you just picked up the Calth box set. Yeah. Just sell those models, somebody who wants to start that color scheme that you started and go, right? It's a possibility. I mean, if you start painting them ultramarines and somebody goes, oh, you know what? I think I was thinking of starting ultramarines. Here, $100. Hand it over, little man. Put that money in my hand. Oh no, Lord of Midgets. Oh no, it's Lord of Midgets. Oh no, he's back. So let's do another email because we are just blasting through them today. This is from, who is this from? Daniel? Oh, Captain Obvious. Duh, Captain Obvious. You always kind of have to do that to yourself after reading it. Duh, Captain Obvious, dumb. Hey, Kris. I think you'll be able to answer a question outside of Way the Brush? Oh. Was this for outside the Way the Brush? Oh, well. We're reading it on Way the Brush. I think. I don't know. Anyway. Please see attached image. I've been looking at these guys for days now. There's one color missing. I really can't work out which one in the millions out there. I can't tell if the trousers, armor, weapons need this color, but it definitely needs to be a third color. Maybe it's because painting long enough that now got the gut feeling that there needs to be another color. but I'm not quite at the level where I know which color to use. Think you could help me out, but please, bud. I'm guessing it needs to be a like a dark or a blunt shade, such as the dark camo green or dirt brown. But I can't see it making it work either way. Colors like Troll Slayer Orange, Evil Sun Scarlet, Warboss Green really don't work with it. Thanks for any help you can offer. Cheers, Daniel, aka Captain Obvious. P.S. That yellow is my first attempt at airbrushing on a Chimera. I like the way it blends with the sharp bone instead of just ending in a line. And so here is his models, and he's having a bit of a hard time getting through the color scheme. I would say a dark gray, Eshin gray. I think Eshin gray would be really, really cool. Even, I was going to say even Inky by Darkness, but no. No. Sorry, I was reading the comments here. Lord of Merchants, I feel so welcome. Lazy Monkey, what if Spite You wears a Way to Brush t-shirt and a fake mustache? Feel free. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, so, Daniel, Captain Honors, yeah, I would go with Eshin Gray. Was that the only picture? That's the only picture. What do you guys think? I think a deep gray would work really well with this yellow and bone color he's got going on. With the yellow in there, I mean, you could go with something, say, like Inky by Darkness that has that kind of blue, dark blue tinge to it. But I think Eshin Gray would actually work really well, especially if you just did like a thinned out non-oil wash just to pick up the panel lines and stuff like that. Not so much just to tint the overall surface, but just to, just to get those details and things like that. But yeah, because really what it is it's because you're looking for that contrast, right? You're looking for that contrast. Now, if you want to keep it light like this, then I would definitely recommend something like, say, Strachan Green. If you wanted to go for a, kind of a camo kind of look. Yeah, really, yeah, exactly. John Doe is he going for desert or is he going for jungle? Yeah, it's really what kind of color scheme are you going for? Like, what kind of environment do you see your tanks in, right? Because if it's a desert, then I would recommend, maybe Eshin Gray or, say, Dryad Bark, to complete the kind of camel patterning going on. Man, like, again, if you're going more jungle-like or, temperate or whatever, you can throw in some Strachan Green. It's a nice lighter green, and of course you can always throw, say, Baltan shade wash on it just to catch those rivets and panel lines and things like that, and be done with it. Yeah, definitely do the tracks. The tracks need to be done. The guns and stuff like that need to be done, of course. But for the main hull, yeah. But right off the hop, I was looking at it because I was looking at your little Marines or your little guardsmen as well, and I was thinking that their trousers, I think, need to be Eshin Gray. Or is your color scheme this brown and white? And I'm completely missing the point. Hold on, now I got to read the email again because maybe I'm missing the point here. No, it's just another color. No, it needs to be dark blunt shade. Yeah, I would go with Eshin Gray. And I'm thinking like Eshin Gray, like along this panel line here, along here, along these areas and stuff like that. And same with like, the guys on foot, right? You do the cloth bits, Eshin Gray. Because it's not all the way black, but it's a really, really dark, dark, dark gray. I really like the color. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully, Captain Obvious, that helps. And if it doesn't, feel free to send me another email and say, dude, like, What the hell? Alright, so where are we in these comments here? Holy man, comments just flying by. Thomas, go Google desert tanks. Go. Yeah, it all depends on what kind of camo you're looking to do, right? If you're looking to do, greens and stuff like that, then throw the greens in. If you're looking to do, full on desert, I'd go with like browns and stuff like that. Lazy Monkey, I would go with the Eshin Gray and bring in the Incubi Darkness and some bluer tones onto the weapons and track workings. Yeah. I love Incubi Darkness. I like Incubi Darkness as well. Incubi Darkness is such a really fun color because a lot of times with black, and a lot of models have black on them, the Incubi Darkness is just a great color. Just to kind of, you can throw like, you can mix it into black like 1-to-1 and make it for his highlight. Then do another one, Incubi Darkness, and you're pretty much done, Or you can just do one little layering of Incubi Darkness and, call it done, Lord of Midget said, Kris, I'm painting some Retribution in baby blue with the joins in silver with some brown wash for shading. What color would work on the Power Stones? Well, if they're predominantly blue, like if the armor is predominantly blue and the silver is only in the joins, it's a baby blue, so it's a soft blue, kind of like the walls, right? You could, if the color of the bodies are really, really light, you could probably go with, say, darker looking gemstones. Okay. Darker looking gemstones, you're basically starting off like black, and then it's just a little crescent of color, right? So if it's red, it's just this crescent, and most of it is black, or maybe just that subtle, red black, kind of like that. But otherwise, it's like starting with a black point and then building the color, be it an amber, which is like a yellowy orange, or orange or red for stones. I would go with that. But I would go darker. I would go darker stones, so they look like there's like they'll end up just looking like more translucent. But otherwise, yeah. I recently did a video on doing darker stones as well versus lighter stones because I did that for Space Marines or something like that. Obviously, because the last couple weeks have only been Space Marines, and I'm almost up to here with Space Marines. Yeah, just like my walls, yeah. So, yeah, I would go with darker gemstones. If anything, you could go with, if you don't feel like doing like all the transitions of color, you know what I mean? Like, because it's about, to get a good, decent effect on a gemstone, you need about 4 layers of color built up on the stone just to get that illusion of the effect. Any less than that, and it just looks like 1 or 2 steps and doesn't quite pull it off. Yeah, with the light blue, because really when we're thinking about it, we start off really basically with the contrasting colors, right? So what's the contrasting color of blue? It's orange. So we will look at oranges, and if the contrast is a really, really bright blue, really soft, bright blue, you kind of want to have the darker version of orange. So it's almost browns almost. And have like yellowy browns. That's why I mentioned doing amber, because amber goes browns to bright yellows really quick. And I recently shot a video on doing amber. I did amber eyes on one of the Marines. I want to say it was Dark Angels. Yeah, it was a Dark Angels Marine, and I did amber eyes on it. So it had really, really dark, and it went to bright yellow. A lot of fun. Looked cool. Different. And spares us getting, yeah. African Wise Man, hey Kris, have you guys messed around with model conversions to make cinematic fighting and dying poses? to match each other, maybe for some sort of intro shots or campaign vids, etc. Um, yes and no. I mean, most like the last intro I worked on was the trailer for the Gorka Market series, and I mean, Matt wanted dynamic images but with no animation. So like, if you guys recall a couple campaigns before with the Tau and orcs, and I had the models moving in the shot, and it was there was stuff exploding, and I had the little Tau turning around and shooting lasers, and the more you have to animate and get these kind of things, the longer it takes to make the video. And so having these kind of like cinematic, because I mean, like, basically they're like little dioramas, right? But I mean, like, taking the model and so that we can place him anywhere, and get multiple shots of him doing multiple things. And yeah, it would be kind of fun if we were to do, like, say for example, off the top of that, like, say something like Captain Slaughter, and we had larger versions of them, and we could pose them. I think that would be really, really, really cool. And that way we really can get into more animated, or we can even do stop motion, or stuff like that, right? Get into some proper stop motion and actually have models moving and things like that. I talked to David at one point about doing, like, getting the larger kits made up, but of course then that would require us to change scales and stuff like that. So whereas we already have a bazillion buildings and backdrops and all this detail that would get lost. So who knows? Leo Shi. So thanks to the godlike Kris's advice, I've decided to continue with Hordes. Trollbloods for the win. Now to find a suitable battle cry. Wagus is not going to cut it anymore. I don't know if Trollbloods have a battle cry. I know like there's like the Sons of Brag, and you got like the dudes with the bagpipes, and they're all kind of just cheering. I guess you probably have to look up some Celtic kind of traditions and stuff, right? You probably find them there. African wise man. I mean, like, to create a scene where the models are made to fit with each other. I'm sure you guys have a ton of spare bits and pieces to use. Oh, we're swimming in crap. But as far as because essentially it's a diorama, having two models positioned and posed together for a scene or something like that. It's a diorama. And if it was only going to be used once, and it took, 2 weeks to make, too long. That would be too long to make. Even if, say for example, I made it and I filmed the entire process, still would take too long. Because, I mean, you're basically doubling the time it would take me to do it. Because, one, I'd have to make the project. And then two, I'd have to edit the project. And so, take too long. Plasma Plays. Kris, do you have any tips or video for doing eyes on humanoid models like an Inquisitor or Acadian Troopers? No. But I mean, I have like a few videos on eyes, and I do have a few videos on doing, like Space Marine eyes and stuff like that, but nothing like that. But I mean, there are videos in the vault on doing eyes, usually on their faces and things like that. The video quick tip on eyes, which was like the very first quick tip video, that was on the wolf model, Thunderwolf Cavalry, and I mean, their eyeballs are a little bit bigger, so it's actually fairly easy to get in there and paint them up. Excuse me. Big Star Wars fan. Kris, you look like a connoisseur of manliness in that way, the brush t-shirt. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't preach. You can't practice what you don't preach, right? Or no, you can't. You can't practice what you do preach. Practice what you preach. Is that what it is? Practice what you preach. There it is. And so, yeah, I mean, looking manly, feeling manly, walk down the street proud. Plus, too, on the backside, mine also has the, take care of your brushes. And so, and it's always good advice, too. Take care of your brushes. Take care of your stuff. Leo She, which reminds me, Kris, what's the music you guys use in your mini wargaming videos? I know it's made by Kevin MacLeod, but I don't know the names. There's a lot of songs we use. Which video are you thinking of in particular? Because I might know the title. African Wise Man. That's interesting that I have been recently meaning to experiment with attempting to make some 40K models with a degree of movement to them, either cutting up segments or using magnets. Yeah, using magnets would probably be the easiest, and that would give you a posability like the old Star Wars toys. Remember the old Star Wars from Kenner? And the arms only went like this, and the legs only straight did this. Not like G.I. Joe's at the time, where G.I. Joe's could bend, and his hips, could move, his torso could bend, his head, could turn side to side. Like G.I. Joe's back in the day had all sorts of movement compared to Star Wars toys, which are just, straight up, dolls, essentially. So, yeah. Interesting, though. African Wise Man, I'm making some kind of movable joints. I'll send an email if I have progress. Yes, please. If you make more, yeah. Thomas Huntley, there's a good one on the female faces in the vault. Yeah, I remember the female faces. Oh, for doing the eyeballs, yeah. Because it's essentially the same thing. Doing a male eye and a female eye. I mean, the female eye, if you want to get fancy, with like the eyeshadow and stuff like that, then fine. But otherwise, a man, I mean, like painting the eyeball itself is essentially the same thing. Thomas Huntley, that shows the technique for smaller eyeballs. Lord of Midgets, Kris is so manly he can't even get his words out anymore. That is why all the men draw over him when they see him in that shirt. He's usually body fluid all over his shoes these days. I should have read that before I said it. Thomas, that's rank. What do you think of Star Wars Rogue One? I am excited for it. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and I love Star Wars. And Rogue One, it looks interesting. I mean, because, it's a heist movie, right? They're going in to go steal something. It's a heist movie. So it's Star Wars with no Jedis, assumably. Maybe a Sith, maybe. I don't know. Will we get a sneak peek at, a Darth Vader, chasing after them or something? I like, it's set before Episode 4. I like, it's during, a dark time in, the galaxy, as the Empire's taken over, and, it's all kind of grim, and no, I like it. I like the concept of it, and I'm even looking forward to the Han Solo one and the Boba Fett one, because apparently those are the other two that are going to get made, as the Han Solo and Boba Fett. And of course, with Episode 8, 2 years out now? I mean, like, every year there's going to be a Star Wars movie, and for the next 6 years, 5 years, 5 years, no 6, no 5, and unless of course they throw other movies at us as well. And then plus two, I mean, I remember way back there was supposed to be a live action TV show that was supposed to go on the air, Star Wars related, and it was supposed to go on, like, it was a weekly episode kind of thing, and so who knows if that's gonna ever get made. I don't remember what it was about. It was like, not alternate universe, but different characters just set within specific time period. And really, the fun with the Star Wars stuff is that you right now you can kind of tell Star Wars at any point, in the universe, and get away with it. You could have the movies continue on with the progression of the storyline. You can have these anthology movies, telling stories from the past. You could have a TV show that was maybe a comedy set, entirely on Coruscant. Because I mean, like Coruscant, like you could probably have a ton of stories just taking place just on Coruscant. You wouldn't even have to go anywhere, like the diner on Coruscant. What if you had a comedy that was set around a diner? And I know you're all going, well, that sounds really stupid. A comedy set around a diner? But there's a whole bunch of those. You could just, there's many shows that are set around one little set piece like that. And yeah, and imagine if it was a Star Wars show, and it was set in a diner. I mean, and it was a comedy. It was on TV. It probably wouldn't last so long, I don't think. Because I don't know how long people could sit there and watch Muppets and stuff like that, and computer animated stuff, and yeah. But anyway, am I looking forward to Rogue One? Yes, yes, I am. Plasma Play, Kris, you have not only helped me keep my sanity, but you keep me focused enough to finish 5 Necron Warriors. Well, thank you. I think. Despite you, Grimdark Star Wars. Oh my God, Grimdark, yeah, Grimdark Star Wars. Well, because I mean, like, as soon as the Empire takes over, I mean, like at the end of Episode 3, right? I mean, in Episode 1 and 2, we see Coruscant, and night and day, and it's usually partly cloudy, lots of sun, clear skies, stuff like that. But in Episode 3, as soon as the Emperor reveals himself as the Emperor and he's bringing Anakin back to Coruscant, it's raining and stormy. You know what I mean? So obviously, the dark side is finally taken over, and becomes a dark time on these planets because the dark side's winning. So yeah, I mean, it's just or was it just a theatrical choice? They just did it because it would seem ominous and foreboding that they're walking in the rain. And of course, too, Anakin is all burnt up at that point, and they got him in the rain. And I can't imagine Coruscant has clean rain. I mean, I'd imagine it's more like acid rain that falls from Coruscant sky. And so, wouldn't that really hurt? Because he's sitting there with all these open wounds, right? And he's getting carted away, and it's raining on him. I mean, what about an infection? Like, wouldn't they have to come like a dome over him or something? They just truck him through. Now we're getting technical here. Leo Shi. It's the one used often in the really, really old vids from Mini Wargaming. Like the first one on the Mini Wargaming channel. He goes, dun, 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 dun. No, I can't do it. No, that was Inspector Gadget. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. Then I can ask Matt, and Matt can tell me right away which one it is. Yeah, who knows? Matt's probably watching right now, going, "It's this title, you dum dum." Yeah. If I think of it, Leo, I'll shoot you a link. If I think of it. Negative. Damn, 1:45 already. Time does fly by. Holy crap! No, I got 1:49. You're 4 minutes late, or early. No, late. Lord of Midgets. They're going to horror Star Wars until it becomes utterly worthless through oversaturation and low quality. The Empire were the good guys. They were prepared to fight what is basically the Tyranids. Rebels killed billions by destroying the Death Star. Yeah, exactly. Like what in Palpatine's visions, right? He sees the future. Like, what if there's some great threat coming to the galaxy and he needs something like a Star Destroyer or a Death Star to fight off these enemies, right? They don't say that, but I mean, what if there was something like that coming to the galaxy, and what if it's Tyranids coming into the Star Wars universe? How cool would that be? Leo Shi, Kris, if you remember any of the old YouTube video contest vids on Mini Wargaming channel, the music behind those ones gone. If I've seen all the YouTube vids from then, I really need help. Yeah, no, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can almost tell you what the name of it is. It's not machinations. It's like, oh, okay. Bear with me, kids. We're just gonna blame we're gonna blame Leo if my computer crashes while I'm screwing around here. Ooh, which it almost did. Stupid Windows. Anyway, okay, so but you don't remind Kris it's holy crap time. Oh, it's holy crap time. One last email before quitting time. Yeah, we are. We're gonna get one more email. I'm just quickly going through the comments here. Thomas Huntley, bye Kris. You ledge. See you soon. What's a ledge? I'm a ledge. Or is that like a lech? Lech, you ledge. Real nice. You ledge. Has anyone considered Rey's vision in The Force Awakens is laid out chronologically? Sure. Well, it couldn't be that chronological because I mean it only starts at the fight on Bespin, right? I mean, really, because that's Anakin's lightsaber as well, right? So that really she should have been seeing a lot more history when she grabbed a hold of it. Is it this one? Oops. Nope. I don't even know what the hell that was. Sorry, kids. We'll blame Leo because he's got me distracted here looking for this tune. You know what, Leo? I'm afraid I'm gonna have to quickly look for it, and then I'll just send you a link for which one it is. Because, yeah, I'll just send you a link, buddy. Because it's bugging me right now. It's bugging me. I'm utterly annoyed. Lord of Midgets. Oh, now NVIDIA wants an update. No, go away. Lord of Midgets. I like the rumor that Anakin isn't the chosen one, just one of the chosen ones. Rey is Anakin reborn and will tell Luke that she is his father. It's just dumb enough to be true. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I've heard that one too. I don't know. I mean, there's also the theory that she's also a Kenobi. And it's like, you know, so no. I mean, the most logical choice is that she is a Skywalker, and I think it's the mother we're hiding her from. Because if they go kind of like with the old lore, right, and Luke's wife, the mother of his child, she's an Imperial, right? So maybe they'll go with something like that. Maybe her mom is Phasma. And they'll drop that just like they did the whole Darth Vader. I am your father. Well, I am your mother. Maybe that's what they'll do. And then I think we'll all be done with Star Wars at that point. I think everybody just got to just drop, step, done. Everybody gets up, walks out of the theaters. Yeah, done. Anyway, okay, let's go to, let's do one more email. Because we can. And this is from Minodrek? Matthew, anyway. Hi. Here are some pics of my latest additions to my Warm Hearts army. I'm still experimenting with many techniques. Do you have some tips to wet blend more than 3 colors? I don't know if I should wait for the first 3 to dry, or if I can keep blending without it becoming really messy. Cordelement. What the hell does that mean? Cordelement. Cordelement? Minnow drake. Holy crap. Am I really reading those? Am I reading that right? Anyway. Here we go. Ooh, I like the tartan on the cloth there. That's really good. That's some good stuff there. I like the runes. I don't see anything wrong here. It looks really good. Whoa. I like the transition in the hair. Is that blended? Looks kind of blended. Focus. Focus. No, that's all the focus I'm getting. I like that nice aqua blue like that with the orange and the red. Just need some writing in the bookend. In the bookend. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's some tall hair on this chick. And there's a monster. Very cool. Son of a beehive. There we go. This dude there. Looks good. Looks like he went for the easiest way to do the runes. Just color them white and then just do some shade wash inside there. Excellent. I like it. I think I showed that in a quick tip a while back. I don't know if you were inspired by that or if you just figured that one out on your own. But either way, nice job. Highlighting's pretty good. I can see the transition. It almost looks like you're glazing. You're not quite wet blending, but glazing. Big stone dude. Whopping stuff. Very nice. Can't remember what the heck these things are called. Very good. I like them. Simple and effective. This guy I really like. I like the cloth. I hated the cloth. That was really good. See to paint up his face. He needs a face, man. My God, man, he needs a face. My God. Okay, so you were asking about wet blending more than 3 colors. So, wet blending 2 colors. Pretty darn easy, right? Take your one color, slap it down, take your other color, slap it down, and then blend the 2, right? Or slap color down and have color on your brush and blend it through, right? Get into that 3rd color and it kind of becomes kind of tricky. Do you go about it in a 3 brush kind of blend method where you have 3 colors on 3 brushes, you lay one down, blend and blend, you know what I mean? Can you work that quickly? Most people, not so much. You know, so what are your options? Retardant. That's really your best way. If you're going to try and wet blend 3 colors, you're better off trying it with using retardant in your colors. Vallejo makes a nice retardant. It blends well with Citadel paints and Army Painter and everything else. It's really designed for Vallejo paints because Vallejo paints are a very thin body color versus Citadel, which is a very heavy body color. And the Vallejo retardant is kind of like a gel. So, it's a very thick bodied kind of paint. And so, yeah, it's going to be kind of, funny in that way, in that regard. It basically feel like it's thickening the paint, but it's not. And also, when it dries, it reduces down, so it's not going to stay really big. I did one time, I was wet blending, and I left some really nasty brush marks. I could see the paint was I could see it was too thick in areas. As I had, the big brush mark trails. And once it dried, it was completely flat. And I was kind of, that's kind of interesting because, here I was just doing this kind of rush kind of job on it, and then realized that I left all these brush marks on it, and when it dried, they were gone. There was no brush marks. So, yeah, I definitely would recommend that. Otherwise, you're looking at other artist companies to get a retardant. Some artist grade retardants can take a long time to dry, so be careful of that one as well. I had one that it took over a week to dry. So, be mindful of that. But wet blending 3 colors retardant. You just get yourself some retardant, and that's really the best way to go about it. And just practice somewhere, blending the 3 colors. Like for example, if you wanted to work through the progression from black to white with a color in between, say blue, then you can lay black down, you lay your white down, you lay your blue, and you blend the whole way through, right? That's basically a 3 color blend. So that's it. It's 2:00. We're 2 hours are up. I'm just having a quick look here, seeing if there's anything pertaining to me. Lord of Midgets, using blending medium, you can do it. I've seen a guy blend 5 colors on DACA. Yeah, see? 5 colors. John Doe, she's more the main character than the Force Awakens lets on. Okay. Episode 8 is supposed to have a new female lead. Really? Leo Shi was a phase 1 ever main character. Remove the helmet and have some plotline, damn it. At least something romantic. Horrific childhood, change in personality, change in alliance, something. Yeah. I think, I think there should have been a little bit more phase 1 in the movie. Just, to kind of flesh her out because, she is a unique stormtrooper in regards to, shiny armor and stuff. She's the captain and, you'd expect her to have some sort of backstory, right? So, Homabado. You missed the entire show, buddy, but you're here. Homabado. Big Star Wars fan. Do you use lube to style your mustache, Chris? Lube? No, because lube doesn't have body to it. Any of the kind of styling products, not quite like mousse or gel or anything like that, but what's it called? Paste. That's it, paste. So, send your questions, comments, emails, whatever you want. Whatever you want to send me. Send it to chris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Join us on Facebook, where we'll keep the discussion going, at least. And also, I usually post whatever I'm working on the Facebook page, just to kind of, keep people talking and keep people interested in painting and, keep expanding on this hobby that we all love and share and enjoy. Always remember to enjoy this hobby, just because, you got it. I mean, with so much crap going on in the world right now, I mean, we all need just a little bit of peace every once in a while. And hopefully you're getting it when you're painting, when you're sitting down and you're painting, because, man, there's all sorts of crazy crap going on. Wave the Brush t-shirts. Again, yeah, you want to look manly? This is it, right here. You want to look like a tough guy? You want to go into a biker bar and go, hey, give me a drink. And walk in confidently. This is the pass right here. This is what'll get you in the door. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next week in another exciting episode of Wave the Brush. Of course, summer coming up. Be taking a summer break soon. I don't know. And of course, when we do take the summer break, we might have to do another contest giveaway special. I don't know which one it'll be. Which episode, I mean. It might be like episode 120. Maybe 121, 22. Who knows? But either way, we're going to, we'll do another giveaway. What? I have no idea. Shoot me some ideas for giveaways. What you guys think would be, fun, exciting, and, worthwhile. I don't know. Anywho, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm going to try and enjoy the rest of this Saturday. Yeehaw!